Welcome to the fifth meeting of the Honolulu Liquor Commission. When addressing the commission, please remember to state and spell your name clearly and speak into the microphone. We will be calling and turn off your cell phones. We'll be calling out of order agenda item number 19 with the commission to discuss processes and procedures, public testimony on proposed amendment to Rule 3-82-38.15 unlawful discrimination. Ms. Harai, did you want to provide some clarification?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioner. So you have been provided copies of public testimony that has been filed in support of the proposed amendment. Just in terms of procedure, because of the way this matter was agended, what will happen is next week's agenda, the same item will appear for discussion and action, at which point administration expects you to direct us to proceed with HRS section 91.3 formal rulemaking proceedings. So what will happen after that is that we'll file a small business impact statement with a small business regulatory review board and then proceed to public hearing. And then later on to back to small business regulatory review board and then forward the approved rule to the mayor for signature and lodging with the city clerk's office, which as we have discussed, that we propose that we do this as a shotgun or bullet type of action matter. We'll just take the one rule going forward. There are a number of other rules that are being proposed for amendment. We're going to treat those separately and after this particular rule. So that is a great deal of procedure that is involved in this, but this is typical for rulemaking. And I think this will be the fastest way to get this the proposed rule amendment effective, but it will take about 3 or 4 months.
All right. Well, thank you. And so just to kind of lay this out, I wanted to say, right, the change within the city is slow and sometimes frustrating. And from today's agenda, you can see the changes referenced by the administration from 2 weeks ago. We had the system status review that will have the focus of the commissioners. One of the recommendations from last year's review was to update our rules. We had a set of rule changes pending on our website. If you go out there, you can see what the rule changes are as proposed. We had a permitted interaction group. We had public hearings, and that was before I joined the commission almost 2 years ago. And originally, it was unclear if we were going to try to move this rule into those pending rule changes and then try to get them all together all at once. So thank you, Ms. Harai, for kind of explaining an easier way to get this one done, but obviously we want to get all of the rule changes approved. The purpose of this was that in June, there was a terrible incident at the Aloha Lani Hotel in Waikiki. A group of drag performers were harassed by tourists in the lobby of the hotel. The performers handled the face of hatred and bigotry with grace and aloha. This incident reminded me that our laws against discrimination are enforced and supported in multiple layers. From a historical perspective, it was the Honolulu Liquor Commission that was part of the larger movement to end discrimination based on sex and race. The authority of the Liquor Commission was upheld in a court case filed as the Hyatt Waikiki versus the Honolulu Liquor Commission, where sanctions imposed by the commission for racial discrimination was upheld. At this time, there were drinking clubs that only allowed men. And there were others that provided free entry for the so-called ladies' nights. Sorry, those now have gone away for some of you. I was assured that this is, let's see. We did not want to lose this opportunity to delay adding this rule to our pending set of rule changes. And we'll take our public testimony today. For full disclosure, I often go to events at the Aloha Lani, and I have personally known some of the performers for many years. Prior to this hearing, I reached out to our city ethics office because I am biased in advocating for this rule change. I was assured this is not a contested hearing and I can bring my advocacy here today. But I assure you, if there were opposing testimony, they would be given a full hearing with all testifiers treated with respect regardless of viewpoint. I'm encouraged by the outpouring of support by our communities, sending a message that discrimination of any kind has no place in Hawaii. But I did want to dispel some misconceptions in the submitted testimony. This hearing is not a reflection of any bad actions by the Alohilani Hotel. The Alohilani shares and celebrates the culture of Hawaii with the world, and it should be commended for its handling of a difficult situation. The purpose of this rule is to address a deficiency in our rules sparked by this incident. If there is a situation where a licensee chooses to discriminate against a drag performer or anyone on the basis of their gender identity or expression, then the ability of this commission to issue sanctions, including fines and revocations of license, will be unambiguous. With that, commissioners, any statements?
Summarize it well.
Thank you. Is there anyone that wants to speak for or against this item? Right. So we'll take the submissions online of testimony into the record, and we will move on to agenda item number 1. Calling for application number 24-00880 Ichiriki Kalihi LLC. Not here. Okay, we will defer that. Calling agenda item number 2, application number 24-00430 K&J Holdings LLC.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Min Young-woo on behalf of K&J Holdings LLC. On my right is the member, Kyung-hee Kim.
Okay, Ms. Rai?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicants met statutory requirements for the submission of this application. For the record, a summary of the June 13th preliminary hearing testimony was provided to Chair Hong prior to the public hearing.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Motion to approve application number 24-00430.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00430. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the chair also votes aye. The application is approved. Thank you. Okay. If there's anyone present who wishes to provide testimony on agenda items number 3 through 18 or 20 through 24, you may do so now or wait until the agenda item is called. Okay, with that, calling agenda item number 3, application number 25-00340-1 to 25-00340-40 Ohana Hale Liquor LLC.
I'm Chris, CHRIS, last name Ulu, ULU.
So how are things going?
It's actually going great, and we're just still trying to wait for our license, our regular license to go through. I just had a question because basically we've been waiting quite a while, and we've been turning in our paperwork and all that. But the whole part is it's over a year been doing this special license. But basically what we're doing with the special license is definitely what we're doing when we get the real permit license. So nothing had changed. So I just was trying to talk to the inspector to try to see what's the difference between the special and the real license when we're doing the same outcome of both. Well, we're not making any changes. It's the same area. So I just was thinking of I've been here over a year doing this. So is there any way that we can kind of look into it and see if there's something can be done
Um,
with our real license.
so a couple of items. One is we apologize we realize that your operations for a special license, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and a temporary license or your permanent license is probably the same, right? Except there's a difference in cost structure and whatnot that is probably an annoyance and interferes with your business operations. And in that sense, we apologize as an agency, but we are backlogged. And so we are trying to address this systemically. One of the items later on the agenda is to put together a permitted interaction group so that the commissioners can focus on this issue. That's a longer term solution. Doesn't help you in the short term, but that's just kind of where we are.
And I agree on this, what we're doing now, we get to pay per month, but then we get to put in the 120 days and then, but we still, we don't have to pay 3 months in advance or 4 months. So, I mean, this kind of a little bit help us in that.
We're trying to be as flexible as we can within the structure of our rules and the statutes, but there's only a certain amount that we're allowed.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to state my opinion. Yeah.
No,
Appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
And I think for us, we also understand, the time period that it's taking you and how long we are and why we're working to try to address those. As you see, each week we talk about reviewing processes and procedures. But I also will say, I think a temporary and special license is a little bit quicker to get through that process than everything that needs to be reviewed and done to grant you a permanent license at a permanent place that you then just renew yearly. So there's a lot more involved in that investigation than there is for the specials and the individuals.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
The only question I had is, so I know I see your times are till 1 AM. And then except one day it's till a little bit less than that. So for your operation that's going on now, I know you want to have some either recorded or live music. So what time does the live or recorded music usually end?
So far, we haven't put in any live music.
Okay.
Only because we haven't had our grand opening yet.
Okay,
So much go, but basically what we're doing is just having the music between nine to like about 11, between 11 and 12, and then everything just get quiet after that.
okay. Okay. That was my only question. Okay. Motion to approve applications number 25-00340-1 through 25-00340-40 inclusively.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00340-1 to 25-00340-40 inclusive. The chair also votes aye. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the application is approved.
Yep, thank you,
All right,
sir.
thank you. Calling agenda item number 4, transfer application number 24-00614, TDM Legacy Inc.
Good afternoon. To my right is Anthony Luke, spelled Huynh. He is present with Council Wayne Luke. We have no changes to the investigators.
Commissioners, any questions?
Motion to approve transfer application number 24-00614.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00614. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 5, application number 24-00747. Hueo Mao Inc. I hope I said that correctly. I apologize if I didn't.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Mr. Uriah Robert Uyoko on behalf of Pueo Mao Inc. Doing business as Yohei Sushi Kahala. Present to my right, Mr. Nobuhiro Miyazaki, he's the general manager. This time we have no changes to the investigators report.
Commissioners, any questions?
Motion to approve application number 24-00747.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00747. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Calling agenda item number 6, application number 24-01145, Famous Liquor Store Corporation. Hello.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Min Young-woo on behalf of Famous Liquor Store Corporation. On my right is the President, Won Young Park, and there is no corrections to the investigative report.
Okay, Commissioners, any questions?
I have no questions. Motion to approve application number 24-01145.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-01145. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the chair also votes aye. The application is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 7, application number 24-01260, KKM LLC.
Oh, it's been such a long time.
Is that a good thing?
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is James Lee. I represent KKM LLC, DB Korea Garden Korean Restaurant. Seated to my right is the General Manager, Ms. Kyung-Suk Kim, HYOUNG, SUK, last name KIS. We have nothing new to report at this time.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Motion to approve application number 24-01260.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-01260. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Calling agenda item number 8, application number 24-04427, Island Life Group LLC.
I'm Chairman of the Commission, Craig Michaud, authorization, hearing on behalf of the applicant. We received the supervisor investigator software report, have no changes there too.
Commissioners, questions?
Motion to approve application number 24-04427.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-04427. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 9, application number 25-00286, Resort Management International.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Resort Management International. I'm doing business as the Modern Honolulu. My client was expected to be here, but I think he ran into something, so he's not here. Apologize. Asked to proceed. No changes to investigators report. This is for a catering liquor license application for the Hilton Okulani Waikiki. We do have a pending hotel application. So we are operating pursuant to the catering license.
How does that work? You're doing the catering operations with that room service and whatnot is also.
Yeah, this one's just the roof because the liquor license before was just the roof, was a dispenser.
Okay,
But the one we're applying for is for the entire hotel.
okay, got it.
I have questions. Motion to approve application number 25-00286.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 25-00286. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Calling agenda item number 10, application number 24-00688, Living Ocean Scuba. Hello.
I'm David Kohler, DAVIDKOHLER for Living Ocean Scuba.
Any questions?
So, Mr. Kohler, I know, so you folks are at Kewalo Basin. Is most of your guests that you're gonna have, are they gonna be bussed in or brought in? Or are they gonna be able to come and park on their own?
Most of them take Ubers and Lyfts at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only question that I would have is, for those that may not take that service or use that service, if they, go to your service and are over inebriated enough where they're unable to drive, are they gonna be able to leave their car parked somewhere in Kewalo Basin?
Yeah, if you leave your car overnight, they lock up the lot, but we can tell security that their car will end up there overnight.
Okay. Yeah, so the main idea is just so someone is safe, they have a place to park. That's.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the security's phone number.
Okay, yep. That was my only question.
Great.
I have no questions. Motion to approve application number 24-00688.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00688. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 11, request number 25-00288, Ko'olau Spirits LLC. Hello.
Aloha, my name is Justin Rivera, Justin Rivera.
Okay, so. Can you explain this two sets? They go together or no?
My understanding is that this is an attempt to alleviate administrative burden. My permits that I normally submit for a less than 3-day period, which originally was to alleviate administrative burden. The volume of which I put in is cumbersome, and it's more easily approved at a meeting like this where you could batch them, I think is the term that was used.
Are we doing two different licenses? So we're increasing
so-
space and reducing space at the same time?
Yes, we have both a manufacturing and a class 18 dispenser license. So in the off hours, we host events and I have to simultaneously reduce the space and shift.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Motion to approve request number 25-00228.
288.
288.
Oh, sorry. Motion to approve request number 25-00228.
Wait, no, 288.
288. Are we looking at
11,
two
yeah.
different?
Okay, sorry.
Or two? Oh, wait, I think there's a.
Okay, so which one is which? The packet one or the?
The packet, I think, is correct. I think our memo was.
Memo is
incorrect.
incorrect.
Okay. All right. Okay, you can say it for the third, or the first time, because you're correct.
Okay, motion to approve request number 25-00228.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00228. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The request is approved. Calling agenda item number 12, request number 25-00229, Ko'olau Spirits LLC.
Gotcha.
Still here, Justin Rivera, Justin Rivera.
Let's see. Okay, so any questions?
No, based on previous discussion and questions.
All right.
Motion to approve request number 25-00229.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00229. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, calling agenda item number 13, request number 25-00349, Da Roma LLC. Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Delgado. Daniel Delgado, Delgado.
Oh, okay.
Only question is, deadline was at the end of June, we're into mid-August, can you provide a
Yeah,
explanation?
I totally missed it. I thought it was July. And once I found out, I stopped selling.
Now that you know, can you make sure to set a reminder or something like that? So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I lost a lot of money just by not being able to sell, and a lot of my clients come for a specific drink since it's a Peruvian restaurant. So it might be the price.
Pisco sour.
It's-
Pisco sour.
Great, thank you.
Okay, great.
No further questions.
Motion to approve request number 25-00349.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00349. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The request is approved. All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Calling agenda item number 14, request number 25-00370, Lokahi Brewing Company LLC.
Video Commissioners, Daniel Coronado, Daniel Coronado.
So standard question for this, is there any particular reason why you're applying for this late?
Just honestly, just shorthanded, scrambling, trying to keep as best I could. I did have to get some money together to get some other back taxes squared away as well. So all those things. But yeah, it's just a very challenging industry. I probably took on a little more than I should have. Figured it out.
Thank you. I have another question. Motion to approve request number 25-00370.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00370. Any nays or reservations? I also vote aye. The request is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 15, request number 25-00380, Vida Mia LLC.
Aloha, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Bryn Rovito, it's BRYNN ROVITO. I'm the managing member of Udemy LLC. I am here because of a late renewal as well. We didn't renew our application by the due date because we were unable to get our tax clearance issued. We were under an agreement. We had an agreement in place at the time it was initially issued back in March, but we were unable to meet the terms of the agreement come April. Just due to increase in costs of supplies, downturn in tourism. So I've been actively trying to work with the department to get a new agreement in place. They're short-staffed. Their turnaround time for messaging is sometimes 10 days. And my inspector who's assigned to the case has to get her supervisor's approval. And they're also hard to get hold of. So I'm making regular payments, but I don't have enough. They wanted half of the outstanding amount. So we're close to it, but we haven't gotten the tax clearance issued yet. So.
Thank you for the detailed
Yes.
account.
You're welcome.
Motion to approve request number 25-00380.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00380. Any nays or reservations? I also vote aye. The request is approved.
Thank you.
Calling request number 25-00381, MHW LLC.
Good afternoon. My name is Christina Schenk, CRISTINASCHENK, and to my right is Sean Inouye. He's our bar manager.
All right, so the secret is out for how to make the Mai Tai.
Public record.
The Mac nut thing I was totally impressed with. I was like, how do you do that? So now we know.
Okay, so the standard question we normally ask with these kind of items is, so when you're batching these amounts, how long are you looking to hold the batch?
Just for the day.
Just one day? Yeah. Okay. So just so you know, on our end, right, when you start having juices, we look at, for future references, we don't want people holding it usually longer than 3 days because juices can turn. But if it's daily, then that's normally pretty good for us. Thank you very much. That's my only question. Yep.
Other questions?
Okay, motion to approve request number 25-00381.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00381. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The request is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 17, request number 25-00394, Flo Vietnam.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Judy Lay, JUDYLE. I'm the authorized agent. Speaking on behalf of my mom, Kim Ling Tran. We're requesting to renew our liquor license. I know we're late. Just had a couple family issues that popped up. And everything's pretty new to me since my dad used to do all the paperwork, but he passed away. So yeah, just requesting for that.
Sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Also, I would recommend that if you do have questions, feel free to call our admin office administrators and see if they can help you or give you guidance in regards to other things you might need to do or take care of. Okay.
I did have a question though. So I had to do the GLS report. So after the renewal, do I am I able to just to go to LSC or the website?
CIS.
So yeah, to renew it. That should be fine to access, right?
Yeah, you're gonna need to contact the audit section with that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think you have no other questions. So my motion is going to be to approve request number 25-00394.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-00394. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The request is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you.
Calling agenda item number 18, Commission Administrator Annual Performance Evaluation. We will go into executive.
Agenda item number one.
To be honest,
Oh,
Chief,
okay, agenda item number one.
agenda-
Yeah,
There was somebody there, but they walked out, so I don't know if they are here.
my understanding, is that the applicant in agenda item number one, request that we reschedule. The public hearing did not give us a date, however.
Okay.
We're gonna have to continue to a date certain, so.
So we-
Since
Shall I
they
make
did
a
not
motion to-
specify, I'm not sure if we should just continue it 1 week. And see if they show up. So, yeah, with respect to agenda item number one, if you continue to a date certain, which is, August 15.
August
You
15th.
also have to say the keeping the public hearing open.
And keep
Okay,
public
so my
hearing.
motion is going to be for agenda item number, motion for transfer application number 24-00880 that we continue for 1 week till August 15th, 2024 with the public hearing kept open.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to keep the public hearing open for application number 24-0088 with a scheduled hearing date of August 15th. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion is approved. Okay. Okay, calling agenda item number 18, Commission, the Administrator's Annual Performance Evaluation. The chair may go into executive session pursuant to HRS 92-4 and HRS 92-5A subsection 2 and 4 to consider the higher evaluation discipline, dismissal of an officer employee of charges brought against the officer employee where consideration of matters affecting privacy will be involved, and to consult with its attorneys on questions and issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities as they pertain to personnel matters and relating to the annual performance evaluation of the administrator to be discussed by the commission with the administrator. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for this purpose.
So moved.
Second. Oh, any nays or reservations? Seeing none, we are in executive session. Right. Okay, we're back from executive session where we discussed the annual performance evaluation of the administrator. Can I have a motion?
Yes, Chair. So my motion is going to be to accept the administrator's annual executive summary as well as his year 2025 operational objectives. Accept those into his personnel file along with an addendum that the commissioner will put together to add to his 2025 operational objectives. Along with that, the commission has reached a conclusion that they haven't found Administrator Petilios at a satisfactory level for year ending 2024. And there is a recommendation for a 4% wage increase retroactively to July 1st.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded pursuant to Commissioner Hollinger's motion. Let's have discussion on the motion. So personally, we're glad and we welcome Administrator Petilios here and appreciate all of the hard work that he's done in helping us to get the commission moving forward. And it's gonna jumping in new into a new environment in a agency that needs structure and some of the reforms that we are going to be undertaking. It's going to be a big task, and so we'll be utilizing the permitted interaction groups for the commissioners to have a better understanding of what's going on in the agency and to work with you for your goals for 2025. So we are looking forward to them. See, it's been moved and seconded, so I guess I can call a vote. Okay, so we, I guess it's unanimous in terms of approval of the motion. Thank you very much, Commissioner Petilios, for all of your work. I'm sorry, Administrator. You wished you wouldn't have as many pieces of pain that you do. All right, thank you very much. We go on to agenda item number 20. The commission pursuant to HRS section 92-2.5 of formation of a permitted interaction group for the oversight of the information technology systems task. Commissioner Hollinger and I worked on the information technology systems analysis permitted interaction group. Can we go next slide? Okay, so our purpose was to review the information technology system supporting the Honolulu Liquor Commission. We wanted to provide recommendations for operational improvements. We wanted to address the issues raised in the system review for enforcement section with the findings that we had a status report on 2 weeks ago. And so some of the items that rolled up into the status report were part of this. And then just to remind everyone, permitted interaction groups are both useful but a little unwieldy. We have meeting number 1, that is the formation of the PIG, where we define the scope of investigations and identify the members. This is the meeting 2 of the PIG report, where we will present findings and recommendations, but we will not have any discussions on the actions here. And then we will have another meeting where we will have discussions and deliberations on actions of the report. And so we'll kind of move forward. So our scope and methodology, it was myself and Vice Chair Hollinger, the assigned members. We had multiple interviews and discussions with the Office of the Mayors, the Liquor Commission staff. I went on a ride along with the investigators and got to see the day-to-days of what was going on there. We met with the Chief Information Officer of the city and the Department of Information Technology to review some of the systems that were available there and for them to provide their guidance and support of what we're doing here. We went with the System Review Enforcement Section Investigator, Hui Chen, so there's a lot to gather from her and her insights into the agency. And then we are meeting with the Honolulu Police Department, of which Administrator Patilos actually met with them today. Other outside of the administration, we met with city council members. The FBI was giving us guidance on, they will actually move outside the scope of this. It will be providing us with training on some items, but additionally some guidance on the body worn cameras. And Data House is our vendor for the development of the LCIS, Liquor Commission Information System program. All right. Finding and recommendation. So we have 5, but the number 1 item is the decommission. The Liquor Commission Information System, LCIS level 1, which I will go through. Then we will go through with the implementation of the proposed enhancement to LCIS 2, a pilot of body worn cameras to see if that is something that we would like to pursue with our investigators as an agency. We investigated integrating the city's Lokahi GIS system to assist with licensing geo notification requirements. Many of our requirements are around 500 feet from the licensed property, finding all of the registered voters. Those are pieces that the city offered as services that they have within their GIS system that perhaps we can leverage. And then finally, I believe to keep status on the findings of this permitted interaction group, we should establish a secondary one subsequent to this to continue with the work. Next. Okay, so this is the LCIS L1 system. I worked at Microsoft in the 1990s, so my colleagues at Microsoft always get a laugh out of this picture, not the least of which is because Felix the cat is the logo on the front. But this is basically, it's a program written in Visual Basic. It was deployed in 1998. Enforcement is still using this system, and they come back and they enter manually the daily activity report when they get back to the office. And this is the equivalent in today's Microsoft technology of somebody with a mainframe, right? This has none of the advantages of the internet and systems that have become much more modern. And so this is kind of where we are. Next slide, please. So this system must be decommissioned, and this is what, as part of the addendum that will be part of the record for the administrator's review, is some of the items of the permitted interaction groups. And this I would place as the number 1 item within this permitted interaction group, and that's decommissioning the old system and migrating to the new system. And so many of the issues addressed in the systems review will be just addressed by moving to this new system. The old system lacked an audit trail, and that came up in the review. It is unsupportable. Microsoft ended support in 2008, and it is insecure and not securable. So in any other public company, this would be a massive audit failure to have this system up and running. And so this one just has to go. Okay, next. So now, assuming that we move forward with LCIS L2, that was deployed in 2018, 4 phases, and 4 additional scheduled enhancements. It's a web database application, so we've kind of moved at least into this millennium of technology. It's currently used by licensing. It already contains a randomizer module for audits to select licensees for audit at random, which was one of the concerns of the systems report. The enforcement module was actually implemented, but not adopted by enforcement pending the data migration, but pending data migration has gone on for years. And so that is kind of just goes on with my previous recommendation. Next slide. But in addition to the enhancements of the current system, the proposed enhancements include purchasing new iPads as the DAR devices. And this will provide portable data entry, communications, and geolocation history. I think this one's out of order. Next slide. And so we will be able to keep track of and map the geolocation of the device itself when used for enforcement actions. Next. In addition, the DAR device itself will be portable, so you can enter it as you are taking your conducting your inspections. This may require additional work condition consultations with unions, as we will be changing the conditions that they're working under. And as I had said before, we will adopt the existing audit module for randomization so that inspections will be done with a randomized aspect. There's some things which, you know, we may, as the UI kind of implies, by class or by location in an area, there will be a randomizer in terms of selecting licensees for an inspection and to ensure that we don't like double count them or count them too many times. One of the things that we don't have right now is the operating hours, so we'll start to capture that. So if you're drawn for a selection and it's not within your operating hours, that would, at least we would mark why you weren't, you were drawn for an inspection, but outside of the operating hours. And that, as we capture the operating hours and hopefully expand on our personnel, we will be able to capture other working hours for inspection. Before I just kind of keep on going on, are there any questions?
Keep going.
All right, next slide. Body worn cameras. So the recommendation is to pilot body worn cameras, but the key here is not the actual purchase of the cameras, it's the policies and procedures around the body worn cameras themselves. And so we've been in discussions with HPD and the FBI on policies and procedures that we can use within our agencies. But again, this would require changes in terms of working with our unionized personnel to discuss implementation and the policies and procedures that will affect the way that they conduct their work. And so the goal of this year would be to conduct a pilot, get the policies and procedures in place so that we can go through the hardest part of the pilot. And then within the scope of the next fiscal year, either have a decision to go or explain why we're not going to go with body worn cameras. Next. The Lokahi integration. This is like we don't necessarily leverage the systems that are available. Within this GIS system that the city has, you can select a property and then, you know, draw the 500 feet around it or whatever the distance is around it, identify TMK places within that location, and then it would take some more integration, provide the voters and whatnot within the location. So those are things that this is kind of very future, not really in the immediate path, but something that we should, you know, coordinate with the services that the city Department of Information Technology can provide us. Next, and then finally, establishing the IT systems analysis number 2 to continue to follow up on these items. So that is the recommendation. I think I cannot take questions. I guess I missed that Council result. That, yeah, that's it. Maybe you just present and then stop, right?
So you have the recommendations?
Yep.
You have to vote on.
Oh, that's the next meeting, right? Okay, all right. Okay, so that's the presentation and that ends agenda item number 20. Agenda item,
Before you
Ooh.
move on, just to make sure that, you know, the next hearing is for public input on those recommendations. Yeah, so that we have, so that everyone knows that this is the opportunity for the public
I see,
to make comments on those recommendations before you guys vote.
vote on it.
So
Okay.
can I incorporate by reference this, the proposals that were contained in this? Okay.
Correct.
Something else? I'll add that to the agenda then. All right, got it.
So I think the next step is gonna be public input, further discussion, and then we can vote it.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Well
Okay.
done.
Thank you. Agenda item number 21, pursuant to HRS section 92-2.5, formation of a permitted interaction group for analysis of unlicensed premises. I will entertain a motion to, hold on. Pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statute, section 92-4 and subsection 92-5A4, to consult with the board's attorneys on questions and issues on a matter pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities relating to the scope of the authority of the Liquor Commission to investigate and form a permitted interaction group on unlicensed premises. Second. Second. All right, let's go into executive session.
I keep on leaving stuff behind in my.
Okay, we're back from executive session where we are discussing the nexus of some of the criminal statutes and civil penalties that we can impose and support the legal licensed out community. We have decided that we would defer this item and to put it on the agenda for next week. And that's agenda item number 20. We will 21. We will do the same for agenda item number 22 as Commissioner Sakamoto has to go.
He has to go somewhere. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Agenda item number 23, Administrator.
Good evening, Commissioners. Sal Patilos, Administrator, Honolulu Liquor Commission. And I'd like to speak about a couple of things in this report. First of all, last week, no, it was 2 weeks ago, I believe, Commissioner Hollinger had asked us to try to reach out to national organizations to post the chief investigator position. And I think our acting ASO, Ken Takamoto, has done that. In fact, today I saw in the National Alcoholic Beverage Control Association daily news update the position posted in that publication. So I think that's gone ahead. I'd also like to talk about body worn cameras. I think that's something that we talked about. First of all, I think it's great that we've been able to contact 3 vendors about what they offer, and from the information they provide us, then we can get a better idea of how much costs will be involved in these things. We actually have 2 vendors providing demos. One of them actually provided a demo on Monday. And then another one will provide one later in this month, I think around the 26th or something like that. And we just, and another one just contacted us today. So that's going well. We also were able to have a demo with HPD. They talked about the system that they have and some of the things that they thought were really critical in terms of implementing something, even a pilot. One of the things that they recommended was that we should be well on our way to having pretty good policies and procedures before initiating a pilot. And that was something that was also voiced by Department of Human Resources with the City and County of Honolulu, because I reached out to them because, you know, I think I informed you that last year we're going forward with this and we were asked to hold back until we could speak with certain departments, and their concern, and echoed by HPD, is that you want to have those policies because we'll have to consult with the unions about this, because it introduces a change in employment. So that has to go through that process. Additionally, I've reached out to Corporation Counsel, and I have a meeting with them tomorrow to be able to discuss their concerns about about HLC getting body worn cameras. I think one of the things that they said, one of the council said when I initially sent out an email about it, was that just be aware that this is not UIPA approved. It will be something that will be asked for, and in fact, that's some. HPD also said that, yeah, administering the program is difficult and requires a lot of resources. But I'll see what more they have, what other concerns they have, and after that, I'll have to speak with BFS. And I presume their concerns are what the costs are going to be, and hopefully we'll be able to get a better picture of that once we get all the documentation from the vendors to see how much this will cost. And finally, again, also talk to the managing director's office because there may be political issues involved here that we need to clarify. And with that, I'm open to any questions that you may have.
Questions? Okay, come to that time. Anything else, Ms. Harai, before we go to?
Nothing.
Okay, agenda item number 24, announcements. None?